My name is Veronica Kennard. Probably the first volunteering I ever did was to help with the brownie pack. And it was when I was a girl guide, and it was at Hendon Synagogue. And that was something I enjoyed doing. Then probably the next thing that I did was to volunteer to teach somebody English. And I used to go once a week to try and help her improve her English. My career developed and I ended up at an investment bank where I started volunteering in a school in Tower Hamlets. I volunteered to join a weekly group that used to go to the school. And on the very first time that I went, I was introduced to a boy called Nicky, who was 11 and whose reading needed a bit of help. And I'm still in touch with him, and he's now in his mid-30s. And I actually consider that to be one of my achievements in life. And it's not just me contacting him, he contacts me every 6 weeks or so, and we meet for lunch and we have discussions about how he's doing. And he's been up and down, but I think that I'm probably the most constant thing in his life. After that happened, I got asked at the investment bank if I would like to look at what other companies were doing in terms of volunteering. We developed a program which we ended up calling Rothschild in the Community, which I managed. It was absolutely brilliant. It had top-down support. We organised team days where people would go and paint a playground, help on a city farm. And as part of that, I became involved with a school called Old Palace Primary School. I'm still involved with that school. I read with some pupils in year 4, 5 and 6. And the thing that I found particularly good for me was that it took me outside my Jewish bubble and it gave me a different perspective on life. It's a school of mostly Bengali children in Tower Hamlets that face very different pressures from the pressures that my children faced. I go and I talk to them about Jewish festivals. They've never met another Jew apart from me, and so I feel a big responsibility. One of the highlights of my volunteering over the years was volunteering in 2012 to be a games maker at Excel in London. I was a team leader and we had done lots of training before the actual event. And yet when I came to it on the first day, I had absolutely no idea what I was supposed to be doing. And my jobs involved all sorts of very amusing things, from trying to help a man out of a lavatory who was stuck to doing lots of interesting work with spectators. From being very hard work, it became 10 days of just such fun. And I also got to see the opening ceremony at the Olympic Stadium. When it came to COVID, I said I must get myself doing something. I retired from the investment bank, but I was working for a Jewish charity and I hated working at home. There was an opportunity to join a sewing team making PPE for the Royal Free charity. So we used to cut plastic sheets, which then became PPE. And that really kept me going for quite a long time. When that finished, I started volunteering at JW3, helping make meals for very vulnerable people. Meanwhile, a vaccination program started. I volunteered for that and used to go twice a week to do the sort of reception duties. That was also a great experience, being part of a team through the Royal Free charity. And after that finished, I put myself forward as a potential volunteer in the hospital. I joined the bereavement office team. People said to me, "How could you do that? Isn't that terribly sad and difficult?" Sometimes it was sad, but it was also really helping people when they really needed good administrative support, good help. And what we were doing was helping people deal with the process of registering their relative's death. Eventually, I found another role in the hospital. I'm working with an oncology-psychology team. The team helps patients undergoing cancer treatment, and I'm helping them do training days and various different training for cancer specialist nurses. What I would say is volunteering has been one of the most important things in my life. It opens one's world, and that's why I love it.